Well, good afternoon, my Instagram friends around the world. It is Mr. Sunshine, Locksmith, Eddy, coming to you live right here in a beautiful, sunny South Florida in the United States of America. And boy, have I got a special treat for everybody involved. What you're looking at right here is a Rolls-Royce ignition switch out of a 1967 to a 1980 series, Silver Shadow, Silver Wraith, Corniche convertible, Camargue, any one of those vehicles. This is the ignition switch. As you can see, we're going to talk about this. This came from Tucson, Arizona, and they needed a key made for it. I actually advertised my services online, whether it be eBay, Craigslist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That if anybody has a classic Rolls-Royce, Mr. Sunshine, Locksmith Eddy, can make them. I've owned 9 Rolls-Royces over the years so far. Mostly Silver Shadow, Silver Wraith. I like the body style, Corniche convertibles and stuff like that. But the oldest one I've done is a 1927 Rolls-Royce. We've also done an older Ghost, and then the 20s and the Phantoms and stuff like that. But what we're going to talk about right now is this Rolls-Royce ignition switch. What you're looking at is a housing. This is a complete unit for Rolls-Royce. And just as comparison, this is a General Motors. This is a General Motors old-style in-dash lock. This is made out of pot metal, mass-produced. It's an original GM ignition switch. And do the difference between a Rolls-Royce ignition and a GM ignition switch, okay? This is the key cylinder that goes in it. It's actually day and night, okay? Most of it's all pot metal. It's a housing that it fits in, and it's got a little film, but we're not going to talk about that right now. All right, so on the back of this lock, take a look at what we're looking at. Everything on a Rolls-Royce virtually is all machine screwed. All right, you got machine screws here. You got nuts here. You've got custom brass fittings here. This is the back side of it. You normally never see that because you're looking at the face inside of a wood dash. But this one here, this actually has the lights here. This would be your oil light wire here. This is your generator that operates to let you know that the thing is charging. Your light switch, your off, your park, your headlights. You can pull it out for the lights interior. All right, so it's a very complex, beautiful piece of very well made Rolls-Royce ignition switch. This would be between 40 and 50 years old. Again, the ones that I've done from the 20s and the 1930s, you're looking at about 70, 80 years old, and they're still working today. Rolls-Royce actually commissioned Yale Town and Country Locks to create their key blanks for their fine automobiles. They wanted something with a lot of grooving. You can see the grooves. It would be hard to pick, which this Yale lock is pretty hard to pick. I don't care what anybody tells you. And it's unless you know what you're doing, you're going to have a hard time making keys for it. Decline that right now. So we're going to continue our talk, even though the phone was ringing. So what we had to do is we had to make a key for this. My client found my ad. He sent me this ignition switch. So here it is. Now, there's a few ways to make a key for this. One is by using it by a key code. Or one is if you had a key, you could duplicate it, but obviously didn't have it. So one, you're either going to have to cut it by key code, impression it. That would mean putting a blank in there, wiggling it around, looking at the fine marks that would be on that key, filing it in order to make that key. There's actually four pins, 7 depths in there. So to try to hone that with a file, you're going to be very good. I can do it. Most other locksmiths, they wouldn't even attempt it. Most other locksmiths wouldn't even attempt to even touch this, let alone make a key for it. The other way would be to go ahead and remove these 3 screws right here. These are machine screws, 7 millimeters. You would unscrew these. Once you have those 3 out, you're then going to gently, and I mean gently, stick a little screwdriver, and because this is electrical plastic, all right, very brittle. It's strong, but it's brittle. And once you have those out, you're going to wiggle that out until you don't have to take this off. The later models had a roll pin in here that you'd have to pound this roll pin out to slide this out for the unit to slide out the back. But this one, this stays in there, and you're going to go ahead and pull this out. Now, once you pull that out, you got to be extremely careful because you're going to have springs in there. You got all kind of stuff. You do not want to get anything mixed up in this because you're never going to put it back together, all right, unless you're going to send it to me. Once you have this out, your lock switch is going to be attached to this. The lock switch that holds this is actually held on with that Phillips screw, or that straight screw there, a screw there, and one right here that's got nuts on the other side. So those three are holding the ignition lock in place. Once you have that out, you can pull that switch out. Now you're going to have the mechanical lock. It's made out of solid brass. You're then going to remove the two little straight screws that are on the back, very small, like a watch screw, very precision made. And then you're going to shim that lock, shim it, or you're going to pick it in order to slide the cylinder out so that you can get to the pins and then file or use a frame and key machine in order to make the key. Once you have that working there, you put it all back together and then you have it done. Well, this one had the key code, like most Rolls Royces, have it stamped on the side of the lock right here, okay? So this was actually the code, but it's only the partial code because they start with either two letters or three letters preceding it, all right, whether it's BL or BM or RRL or RRM or NRR. So you don't know until you until you see it, NRRL. So you're going to not know unless you're a locksmith like me and you've been working on them, so then you know what to use as far as the thing. Once you determine what the code is, you'll look it up in the code book. It'll tell you what the cuts are. And right here, we just made him a key. This is the key here. Put it in, and there it is. It turns over to the start position. There is an off, there is in lock, and there is in accessory position. So when you pull that out, we went ahead and made him two keys so that this doesn't happen again. There it is, over to the on position. Now, when you turn this key, you see that spring loaded? That spring loaded is actually caused by this heavy-duty spring here. Once that key is turned, it goes ahead and it makes contact right there. The wire that comes from here down to the starter operates to that. Once you hit that, it energizes the starter, it starts the car, and then when you're ready to shut it off, you turn it back here, it shuts it down, grounds it, and then it's done. As far as the headlights are concerned, you can see the headlight switch. This would be your headlight switch here. You can see different positions as this is a solid brass with nylon, everything. It's even got a little C-clip right there. You can see everything on this is precision all the way from the engine to the brake accumulators, to the electrical system, and such. So there it is, just like that. And I've had them come in from Australia. I've had a lot come in from Australia, several from Europe, even from the United Kingdom, where these originally were made in Crewe. Apparently he couldn't find a locksmith in the UK, so he shipped it over here to the United States of America, down here to South Florida, and I went ahead and made him a key and shipped it back. We get them from Canada, around the country, and around the world. So there it is, a little tutorial on a Rolls-Royce ignition switch. I hope you enjoyed that. We try to bring it to you live. I actually do all the classic automobiles, Ferrari, Lamborghini. I've actually owned those vehicles, Ferrari 328, Lamborghini Urraco. We've done the Countacs. We've done the old Rolls-Royces, natural, and the old Porsches, Porsche 911, Porsche 912, Porsche 914, the 4-cylinder, the 6-cylinder, 911s, stuff like that. So any of the old classic, and then you got your Model Ts, your Model As, your old Ford, Chrysler, General Motors, the Hemi cars, which all use the actual same lock. As a matter of fact, General Motors, GM Corvettes, they would have had this type of ignition in their Corvettes, as far as the Chevy Novas and stuff like that. So, but for this video today, we're specializing in another Rolls-Royce. I've had 9 of them. I know these cars inside out. And there isn't one that I have not been able to make a key for yet. So other than that, if you have a Rolls Royce or you have a friend of yours that has one and they need some keys made, you let them know. Mr. Sunshine, Locksmith Eddy, down here in South Florida in the United States of America. And we can get him all set up and make him so that this car, well, I'm going to ship this out this afternoon before the post office closes. So he'll have it in about 2 days. And his Rolls Royce will proceed again. Thank you for watching Mr. Sunshine, Locksmith Eddy, live here to my Instagram friends around the world. God loves you, and Eddy does too. Thank you for watching. God bless you.